We'll now take a look at North Wales. Of the 3 workings from London to Holyhead, 1 is booked for loco haulage. This is the 919 from Holyhead, complete with DVT. A Class 90 will take over at Crewe. Class 37 haulage will finally cease this winter. Crossing the line at right angles is the D Marsh to Arpley Enterprise service on what is now known as the Borderlands line. This line also featured Class 101s between Wrexham and Bidston. but it's the Class 37s that everyone's come to see. This is a Class 175, one of the new units that have taken over. Their introduction had been delayed by many teething problems, including being out of gauge, not being able to run in multiple, and braking. The locos and HSTs on the London Holyhead service will be retained for the time being before being replaced by Voyager units in 2 years' time. This downworking features a 47 substituting for an HST. The Northern Belle, Orient Express's new North of England operation, started off by hiring Fragonset locos such as Crimson Lake Liverid 50017. Watch out for Flying T. Note the load hold liveried substitute. Since DRS took over the nuclear flask traffic, their 20s have been used on the Valley Sellafield service. Class 101s had also been working the Chester and Llandudno branch. This is the 1719 from Manchester, the quirk in the summer timetable which saw one daily loco halt service to Llandudno, the first time a loco had been booked to run here in many years. It also provided us with an opportunity to see the dying art of running round under semaphores. The train returned to Manchester at 1954, and with that we say a fond farewell to the North Wales 37s. With their demise, it means that the only diesel hauled services in Britain are the ScotRail sleepers, the handful on the Western, and the Virgin Cross Countries. Croydon's Tramlink system opened in May, a mere 3 years after work started. 38 stops are provided on 28 kilometres of track, more than half of which have been converted from former railway lines. The The trams are based on those working in Cologne, and each of the 23 vehicles can carry 200 people. Reading's routemasters passed into history in July, leaving London and Halifax as the only places to see them in normal operation. The Reading fleet was acquired by Reading Main Line from London and Blackpool in 1994. At their peak, 26 RMs were in operation, but had been running at a loss in recent times. On the last day, 11 were in service and were suitably adorned with wreaths. An RT works a shuttle service from Willesden Junction in connection with the open day at Old Oak Common. With the extension to Lewisham in full swing, more Docklands units are carrying adverts. Ridership has increased from 8 million in 1993 to 33 million this year. The Jubilee Line extension won more plaudits than the Millennium Dome. A feature of the extension is the use of platform doors. These are the District Line train destination indicators at Earl's Court, dating from the re-signalling of the area in 1905. You will notice that small repeater signals and route indicators are located in the middle. The refurbishment of the Piccadilly's 72 stock was completed in October. This means that the entire London Underground stock has either been replaced or refurbished within the last 10 years. Last year we saw the Wee Killing train formed of former 38 stock on the Central Line. You may recall that it had to be top and tail by battery locos, as the 38 stock was not compatible with the sophisticated central line signalling. On the rest of the system, however, signalling compatibility is not an issue, so they can operate under their own power. The preserved Cravens unit of 1960 stock was used on the Craven Circular Wanderer rail tour in April. 8 of these units were built for what was intended to be a complete fleet for the central line, but ultimately a new batch of 59 stock, known as 62 stock, were built instead. On to the Metropolitan, where A stock, dating from 1961, is now the oldest in passenger service on the London Underground system. On May 13th, a goods train was provided for a photographic charter, top and tail by Sarah Siddons and 61572. Running empty from Neasden depot is the stock for this year's 2 Steam on the Met weekends. On the first weekend, the Cravens unit worked services on the Chesham branch. This was the 10th and final year of Steam on the Met, with specials again running between Watford and Amersham. Preserve 2227 was again involved and was specially painted into Metropolitan livery for the occasion. The future of the line from this point to Watford is still under threat of closure. A new line would run from Croxley to Watford Junction, enabling Watford Met to close. Sarah Siddons was one of 20 similar locos built in 1922 to haul compartment stock on the Metropolitan main line as far as Rickmansworth, where steam would take over. A look inside shows that bulkheads behind each cab weren't built. Drivers could see right through to the other end. A route we haven't covered before is the Dudding Hill line. Note the semaphore. This connects the North London line to the Midland. A regular user is the Dollans Moor to Corby car train. It is also the only route in London to still feature telegraph poles. This is the diverted Purfleet to Cardiff still train empties. On the West London line, a Class 92 from Wembley heads for Dollans Moor for onward connection to Lille. The line is also used by the two Brighton cross-country services. With a district line train formed of D-stock in the background, this is the Brighton to Edinburgh. Starting from Kensington rather than Victoria due to engineering work is an Orient Express trip to Southampton. The Gospel Oak to Barking line is often used as a relief route to the North London line. This is the diverted Purfleet to Crewe freightliner. .317s are being loaned to Thameslink by West Anglia Great Northern. To get from Hornsey Depot to Cricklewood Depot involved travelling on an unelectrified section, and the surprising choice of motive power for this move was a pair of Fragmenset 31s. And now a look at the varied workings to be found on the North London line. Celebrity RFD liveried 47306, the Sapper, since withdrawn, is seen unusually working the Stratford to Wembley Enterprise service, taking the connection between the North London and the West Coast main lines. DRS have pulled out of the charter market. Their final outing was the Pathfinder's Anglian Capitalist in August, from Preston to Ipswich. Unusual southern-related workings next. Firstly, a pair of 73s on diesel power work an engineer's train to Temple Mills. Next is an empty stock working from Bounds Green to Victoria in preparation for the Southampton Docker rail tour. The Ripple Lane to Immingham newsprint train is booked for a Class 66. In a reminder of happier times, a Class 56 substitutes on this occasion. The North London also sees a lot of electrically hauled freight between the West Coast and the Eastern. Here a pair of 86s work the Crewe to Ipswich freightliner. The same working again, this time with an added Class 90. Featuring a 59 in new Hanson livery, This is an extra Harlow Mill to Acton stone train in connection with the M11 motorway extension works. The Class 309s bowed out again with a final rail tour in May. This is the Class 309 farewell from Manchester en route to their original stamping ground of Clacton.